And we're about to get started. So I'm going to go ahead and start, and those who join us late can catch the replay. Tonight is about how to give effective praise. And by effective, I mean praise that builds self-esteem, not praise that teaches our children. And I was just mentioning before, not just children. I am going to talk in the form of children, but I want you to know that in any relationship in your life, your partner, your spouse, and, particularly if you're a coach, if you're a teacher, if you are a manager and you're managing other people's behaviors and you want them to, feel good about themselves so that they, people with high self-esteem always perform better. So the principles I'm going to teach tonight can be used in any relationship, but I am going to give specific examples in how to apply these with children. And essentially, there's three kinds of praise. There's one kind of praise that hurts the child, and makes them rely on external validation and approval to believe that they are good enough, and they become so hungry for that they get to a point where they stop taking risks because they don't want to lose their praiseworthy status, and so therefore they won't take a risk in case they get it wrong, because they've learned to basically, it's almost like a drug to get a fix on a particular kind of praise. That kind of praise is called evaluative praise. I want you to write that down. Have a pen with you when you jump on these periscopes. Take some notes, because your brain and your subconscious mind will actually store new files a whole lot easier if you're taking notes. So I highly suggest to sit with pen and paper if you can. But so evaluative praise is exactly that. It's praise that evaluates, and it's judgmental. So when we use words like good, excellent, fantastic, anything else, whatever else it might be, that's evaluative praise. We are passing our judgment on the effort or the outcome, or the attitude or whatever it might have been. So using words that essentially they're empty, that they're like a drug. They give you a quick fix, but when you come down from that fix, it leaves you longing for more, right? And so we don't want our children particularly hooked on evaluative praise. Well, we say, good girl, well done, that's amazing, oh wow, fantastic job. All of those words are evaluative and they are judgmental, which means, hey, this is my opinion, this is what I think. And it can actually ruin trust between you and a child. For example, let's say that your child, let's say they play a game of basketball or something and they don't think they played very good. Or they're disappointed with something they did, and you're trying to say, no, you did a great job, you were fantastic tonight. In their mind, they don't think they were, and so now they're just learning not to believe you. And essentially what we're doing is we're saying, hey, don't worry about how you feel, just take on board my opinion, because my opinion of you is actually more important than your opinion of you. So let's just disregard and completely forget about the fact that you're feeling like you could have done a better job, and let me just override your feeling with my opinion. And you shouldn't validate your own emotions, you should buy into what I think. And so that praise can one of two things. It can actually damage the trust they have with us, because they start to not value our opinion, because they, in their mind, I've got so much evidence that is the opposite to what you're saying. And hey there. And the other side of it is, it gets them hooked on external validation. When they, they'll constantly, they won't judge their own work. Let's say they go and they draw a picture and they bring it to you, and they're asking, or they're looking for your approval on that. Is this good, mummy? Is this good, daddy? What do you think of my picture? Or they take it up to the teacher, and they're just looking for, wow, this is amazing. And again, that's judgmental. And what happens is they won't give themselves their own evaluation. They'll wait till they get yours. If you say it's a good job, they'll go, okay, well, if you say it's good, then I guess it's good, so I'll believe what you believe. And instead of developing my own belief system, I will just buy into yours. And if I thought it was good, and then I came to you and you didn't agree, well, what I'll do is I'll override what I thought of my own work, and I'll take on your, I'll take on your opinion. And basically they learn to never to not self-validate. So evaluative praise essentially is like a beast. You know, it produces monsters in terms of self-talk. So how do we praise effectively? How do we praise in a way that the praise doesn't come from an external source? It's not coming from an outside source. They're not looking to something outside of themselves to know or to believe that they are good enough. They can tell themselves, I'm good enough, regardless of what anyone else thinks. I believe that's a good job. We want them telling themselves that kind of praise, not getting it from us. So the kind of praise to use then is called descriptive praise and appreciative praise. Now, do me a favor, for those of you who might be new to Periscope, if at any time you're liking what you're hearing, you're getting something out of it, you're learning something new, go ahead and double tap your screen, and the more you like it, the more you double tap, because what it does is it gives me love hearts at this end, and I know whether this message is reaching you as an audience, whether I'm explaining it good enough, whether I need to, go into some deeper explanations, whether you're getting value, and therefore what kind of topics I should provide on things like Periscope. So, give me that feedback, because it definitely does help at this end to know what is it that you're liking and that you're getting love hearts times 100. Thanks there, Jamie. So, so descriptive praise and appreciative praise. These are the two kinds of praise that are effective, where we describe what we see. We don't judge the effort. We don't pass our judgment. We don't pass our opinion. We just describe what we see. So let's say they bring us a piece of work and they're showing us a picture. Rather than going, oh, wow, what an amazing picture. That would be evaluative praise. We are passing our judgment and our opinion. So instead we'd say, wow, I appreciate the diversity of this design. Well, I can tell this has taken you a fair bit of thought. Well, I like the way that you chose the colors. Explain to me what made you choose these colors. And so we are describing what we see. Let's say that they, they did the dishes for you. Well, rather than walking out going, oh, you're such a good boy, thank you for doing those dishes, what we say is, wow, I can't see a single dish on this sink. That saves me a whole lot of time and effort. I appreciate you, thank you. And so they then tell themselves, I'm a good boy. I did a great job. We want them telling themselves that, not looking for an external source to get that validation. Then they self-validate. So that what happens is, at some stage in their life, if praise isn't available to them, that's okay. They don't need it. They can give themselves their own praise. They don't need anyone else to approve of them. But if we get them hooked on this evaluative praise, and at some point it's not available to them, when they go out to the real world and they get their first job, or they, I don't know, whatever it might be that they do, they start running a business or whatever, and they don't get that evaluative praise anymore. No one's telling them they're doing a good job. What they do inside their mind is they go, well, no one's telling me I'm doing a good job, so that must mean I'm not. And so they start telling themselves, I'm not good enough, and then so begins the downward spiral of self-belief and self-worth and self-esteem. So we describe what we see. Let's say they picked up their toys. Rather than saying, oh, you did a fantastic job at picking all of that up, we go, wow, not one thing is out of place. I can see the whole of this lounge room floor, which shows me somebody cleaned this up. And so we let that person say to themselves, yeah, I did that. I'm appreciative. The other one, rather than just describing what we see, is appreciative praise. So they do something for you. Well, they do something and you appreciate it. So you'll say something like, thank you, I noticed today. Use the word noticed, and thank you. They're just two really simple things to start with. Listen, I noticed that you went out of your way to put the rubbish in the bin for me tonight. Thank you. That saves me that saves me a job that I need to do once you guys are in bed. That allows me to have more of the night to myself. Thank you. I noticed this and I noticed that. Listen, I want to acknowledge you for the effort you put in today, because I appreciate the fact that you did X, Y, Z, even though I know you didn't really feel like it. And I know that the reason you did that was to help me out. Thank you, because it really did help. Rather than, oh, you're such a good helper. So any sentence with a word in it that would be like good, excellent, fantastic, great, amazing, eliminate those words. Ask yourself this. If I'm going to say good girl or well done or amazing job, just ask yourself, what is it about what I've just seen that makes it amazing? Thank you. I appreciate you holding the door open for me. Beautiful. Rather than, oh, good boy. Thanks. Perfect. There you go. Thank you. I appreciate you holding the door open for me. Wow, that made it easy to bring all the bags inside, having you hold the door open for me. So we're describing what just happened. We're describing the effort that it saved us, and we're describing what we see. Just ask yourself, what do I see right now? Okay, I see that everything is cleaned up. So just say, wow, everything is cleaned up. That's nice to walk in and see. So that's it. Not good boy, good girl. All right. So let me pause there and let me just ask you, go ahead and type in on your phones. Do you understand where I'm coming from? Do you feel like look, there's an article that I'm going to post in the Powerful Parenting group immediately after this that describes what I've covered tonight in great detail. And it's got a lot of examples there of evaluative praise and also some examples of descriptive and appreciative praise. Beautiful. I wanted to make sure this message got across. What I would do if you want some specific answers, I will go into the Facebook group tonight and I will answer. Can we apply this to people we can work with? Absolutely, Jamie. Yes, we can. Apply it to everybody. Don't just say to someone, oh, thank you, you're amazing. Go, listen, it could be a colleague at work. Hey, listen, I wanted to come and tell you something. Yesterday, I noticed that you did blah, 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 and I wanted to say thank you. That's all it is. Okay, so describe and appreciate the feeling it's given to you or whatever it might be. So I'm going to finish that there. If you want to give me some specific scenarios, come into the Powerful Parenting Facebook group. If you're not already part of it, www.facebook.com/groups/powerful parenting. Come in there in the group. I'm going to post up the article and go ahead and ask me some questions. If you've got some specific examples, you might be sitting there going, well, I know one thing I always say to my little boy is, well done, you're amazing at this. How can I change that sentence so that I'm giving descriptive and appreciative praise? And I can help you create some sentences. And for those of you that really understand this and have been using this for a little while, help me out. I mean, this isn't just for me to help everybody. So many of us have, really great ideas. So let's all go into the group and share ideas and share stories. So tomorrow, when your child wakes up and they do something and you use this praise, tell us how it worked. Tell us what the feeling was you got. Watch your children's eyes. Like, seriously, watch them sparkle when you don't validate them. So when they ask you, Mummy, what do you think of my work? I want you to, just refuse to answer that. One of the best ways to answer when they specifically say, do you like my picture? One of the things I do is say, you know what, let me ask you something first. What do you like about your picture? You tell me what's the favorite thing you like about your picture. Then let them explain. And then you go, well, do you want to know what my favorite thing is about this picture? My favorite thing about the whole thing is how much you like it. That's what I care about. What I care about is how much pride you take in your work and all the effort you put in. So we want to acknowledge their attitudes and their efforts and the process. Wow, that must have taken some focus. Well, I can see you've been very persistent with doing that because there's a lot of detail on that picture. That's something that would have taken a bit of focus and persistence. And, give me a high five on that persistence. Not a high five on the picture. Not on the outcome. Give me a high five on the process. Give me a high five on the quality that you showed to complete that. So that's it for me tonight, guys. If you have any questions, I'll hang here for 20 seconds if they're real quick ones. Otherwise, I'll meet you guys in the Facebook group. I've got a phone call to do, a coaching call right now, so I won't be in there for the next half an hour. But straight after that, I'll come in there and I'll answer what I can. And I will definitely go in there right now and share that article. So thanks for being on the line. And remember this, guys, as you leave here tonight, I want you to depart here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way, the courage to voice what you've got to say, the courage to thrive when times are tough, and above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night.